Hello, and welcome back to Panzer Campaigns Tunisia 43. Thank you for watching. I am excited to record this video. I haven't played Tunisia 43 in a few days, and I've been itching for it. There wasn't a lot of activity during the night turn after I moved and fired my artillery, but I did make some progress, so what I'm going to do in this video is I am going to first run the turn because I've moved all my units. And then what I want to do is take a look at the overall situation, basically starting on day two. Next turn is going to be night turn two, and I always like to do like a little recap and planning session to start my next day. I think that that's important. One of my all-time favorite quotes, and I don't know, it's been attributed to different people, but something very close to the best laid plans fall apart when you make contact with the enemy. And I think that that holds especially true in this game. What I did this morning was to go and re-watch my original planning video from when I was first starting this scenario, and kind of it gives me a good opportunity to assess the progress that I've made versus kind of what I expected and where I have to go. So I want to reassess where I'm at and take a look at where I'm going for day two. I kind of have a better idea of the speed of progress which I'm going to make. And I have some high level and some specific objectives for day two that I've been thinking of. Um, I also want to just take a moment and say thanks to everybody who's been watching these. I've been surprised that there are a lot of people that like to watch these videos, so that's cool. I've been exploring different kind of gaming clubs and interactions on the forums and that kind of thing. And I've started playing play by email matches, and I really feel like this community is quite welcoming and varied, and everybody has this shared passion for the history surrounding this game and the games in this series. So I really appreciate that. So, all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and run the turn. Let's see what happens. I wonder if the Axis will shoot artillery at me. Okay. Oh, let me close these windows here. Yeah, there goes Varsity getting hit. Oh, they're shooting at my 1st Division, 1st Armored Artillery. Here is the, let's see, that's going to be the 78th Infantry, firing all along the front, hitting the 4th Infantry. They're shooting at my, what is that, the 6th Armored, the armored battalion that I have up there. So here, the Axis forces are laying down artillery all across the front. Not being super effective so far. I got some fatigue. Here they go in on my headquarters. Disruption. Ugh, that annoys me so much. Okay, more shooting my headquarters. The Highlanders are taking some. This is the 50th Infantry Division. Highlanders some more. 1st Infantry headquarters, of course. Disruption, of course. Highlanders some more. 1st Infantry headquarters some more. Oh, I figured out about the Moroccan division. I don't remember if I was talking about this in my last video, but the Moroccan division are assaulters. They just got to do everything with assault. They have really high assault values, so that's kind of like what their shtick is. So that's what I'm working on with them. It's nice to have that recon vehicle from 1st British Infantry Division supporting the Moroccan division, though. So here, Axis forces are moving around. They're talking about their likes and dislikes. Shooting starts. More artillery. No disruption on the 9th so far. Okay, some shooting. Those guys are, they're in a trench. Oh, nice. Counter battery fire got them with a disruption. Okay, more artillery. 1st Infantry Division, the American 1st, is finally engaged. And at night, too. I don't love their position, but they're actually seeming to hold up okay. Here we're back to the 78th Infantry getting shot up. 4th Infantry. Yeah, they're in pretty good shape, honestly. Okay. Ugh. This Axis infantry over here. Really annoyed that they pulled up and parked right at the bottom of this hill. More artillery. It's not being super effective against this tank. They're pouring it on. This tank battalion. Or it might be a brigade. Okay, more shooting at the Highlanders. More shooting at the 1st Division HQ. Or more artillery, I should say. Okay. I'll look at something right quick. 42. Alright. More artillery on the Highlanders. Ah, they took out one of the New Zealanders' tanks. Okay. Highlanders, defensive fire. Giving as good as they got. This bunker shooting up the 1st British Armored. I think that's the 1st British Armored. Yep. Shooting at us from bunkers. Good thing we got tanks to do defensive fire. We do not have tanks here. They just have to sit there and... Well, I got artillery. More shooting from the bunkers. This trench line at the Moroccan division. Okay. More engagement with the Moroccan division. Shooting, shooting, shooting. I feel like maybe I should speed up this part of the combat. We can go a little faster. I should probably do that all the time. It's a little harder to follow, and I like to do a play-by-play. And I feel like if I speed it up, I can't really tell the viewer what's going on. And some people have said to me that they kind of enjoy just listening to me talk about it as it's happening. So right now the 50th is engaged. They're getting shot to pieces in this trench line. Disruption. Highlanders are engaged. The Indian division. They're giving as good as they get. They've got Supporting artillery, Moroccan division, back in action. Lots of shooting over here. I'm worried about this right flank, but I have that battalion or the regiment from the Indian division coming in, or brigade, whatever it is. Nice. We got the disruption on that pesky unit that was attacking the 6th Armored or the 7th Armored AT guns. All right. I think we're getting close to the end here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Varsity is fighting hard against these, I think they're Italians that are up here, but they're not in the best position. Okay. I do my ritual, and then I talk about the game. Grab a screenshot of the command report. I should make a bug report about that. Basically what it is that if you save the game and load it, and then you pull up the command report after it's blank. So I'm going to quickly look at this. Core attachments are possible. I need to look at that. I've never done that before, but I think it would be helpful. I'm going to try. We'll look at it together. Unit clearing mines. Okay, great. Wonderful. Mines over here at the... Where is this? Oh, at the 1st Infantry, the American 1st Infantry. I have some isolated units. Where is that happening? Oh, yeah. These units in the 50th, they're isolated, low fuel. One of them is disrupted. That's not super. What other unit is isolated? Oh, yeah, this recon unit, also low fuel. Okay, one thing I was talking about in the last video was my command and my ammo. This turn, I should make a graph, honestly. This turn is better. This turn is actually quite a bit better. So I've got 20 units, 20 artillery unavailable and 20 units low on ammo. So that's better. I've got 6 undisrupted out of 24 checked. That is the French division. Screen. Oh, good. Yeah, this headquarters, I moved them. A fun lesson. I was talking about the road movement in my last video, and I moved them in travel mode, but I couldn't figure out why it was that they couldn't. That they got disrupted by night disruption, night movement, and it's because I was moving them from a non-road hex to a road hex, which doesn't count as road movement. So this recon unit, undisrupted, okay, that's great. Okay. Oh, this recon unit in the Moroccan division, that's good. We'll need that. Oh, good. I'm so annoyed when the AI just piles it onto the headquarters unit. So this one was undisrupted. The regimental commander from the 9th Division was just obliterated. So I know that they can reconstitute themselves, but still it's okay, I guess they just won't have a regimental commander for this scenario. Where is this? One unit set up. Okay, great. So I've got a bunch of units that recovered fatigue. Well, I've got 21 units that are low on fuel, so that sucks. I have a bunch of units that recovered losses. I have one improved position. Okay, that's good. That's our jumping off point through to Highway 4. Okay, so we looked at that, and then what I want to do, I'm going to look as well at the kind of individual components. So this is like planning session for day 2. How am I doing on time here? I am in good shape. All right. So I'm going to zoom out and look at it from the widest picture that I can. Overall, I think that day 1 went pretty good. It was a half day. We made progress in different sectors. Some sectors were slower than expected, and some sectors were faster than expected. So, all told, though, I'd say it came out pretty well. And I think that for the sectors that I'm not in the place that I want to be at right now, I'm in the right position for getting to where I want to be. We had to make several adjustments based on the specific points of resistance that I encountered, and that is good. Like I said, the plan falls apart, so I want to adjust very quickly um, whatever my approach is in order to be able to use the forces that I have to the best of their ability. A couple of other kind of action items and considerations for me. I really want to stay on top of my artillery to make sure that that all of my artillery guns stay in range. We can't push without artillery. I mean, we can, but we'll take really bad losses, and this is a longer scenario, so I want to be respectful of both the fatigue levels and the manpower of the units at my disposal. Another item that I want to consider starting with day two, I want to look closely at the fatigue levels of individual units, and I want to take the units with the highest fatigue levels in the individual divisions and form some sort of a fighting capable reserve. Basically, I'd like to hold, I think, a regiment in reserve for each division, and this is going to depend upon the circumstances surrounding the individual, whatever is happening for that division. But I want to hold a regiment in reserve where I can, so that that regiment can recover fatigue. So I'm looking for my highest fatigue units. So I want them to recover a little bit of fatigue, and I also want them to be able. I want the flexibility basically to move units to where they need to be given the circumstances of whatever is happening at that specific point in the front. Another item that really stuck out to me, especially when I was looking at when I was rewatching the video, my original planning video, something that I pointed out was that the road network in Tunisia is quite expansive, and I want to take advantage of that to the best of my ability. Something that I'm kind of fashioning in my own personal doctrine as I play this game is use motorized forces as motorized forces. Don't let them get bogged down. I mean, in some cases it's inevitable, but try to avoid letting them get bogged down in situations where they're basically just like trying to take a bunker, or they are punching straight at a defensive formation. I want to use them for flanking. I want to use them for reconnaissance. I want to push as far as I can in every direction that I can to figure out where I'm going to run into trouble. I want to keep the enemy off balance as much as possible by like expanding my reach and poking them in different ways. And so I want to try and stay on top of that with turn two. I want to start that early, and I want to keep on top of it as much as possible. I've got a lot of specialized units that are motorized that I can rely upon to take advantage of that. I've got a lot of these Royal Dragoons, for example, and just like different recon units. Um, the American Second Corps has a ton of recon units that are just kind of sitting up here. I couldn't really get them through, but soon enough, I'll be able to move them into a better position. And like I've got this half track recon, so starting on turn two, it's going to be even in areas where I find resistance, I'm going to try to bypass that with my recon and my tanks and that kind of thing. So I want to try to keep as much as possible at a doctrinal level. Like, we got to keep pushing forward in different places. Okay. So I'm going to look at the individual units and kind of give like a review of where I'm at and where I want to be. Um, I'd say that for the French Corps, I guess I'm probably where I want to be. There's bunkers over here. I expected resistance over here. What I'm concerned about overall is basically like the northern flank of 2 Corps, the United States 2 Corps. So if I look at the progress that the Ninth Division has made, it basically hasn't been anything. Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. I take that back. So we did bust through this bunker line here, and I have a plan that I was thinking about. So the way that this is going to work, we broke this bunker line on the elevated terrain. The highway still does not have basically any progress, and there is another bunker line right here that's probably heavily reinforced. And what I'd like to do is use the let's look at this from the oops, regimental level. So I want to the 39th Infantry Regiment on the northern flank of the 9th Infantry Division is going to be kind of engaged and bogged down in these trenches. I think I'm making good progress there, but it's going to take a bit to get around this hill that's here, kind of on the northern edge of Highway 7. They've got to go this way, otherwise they're, attacking bunkers and landmines head on. And I think that there's going to be additional resistance up here past the hill that's trying to cover the flank of this bunker line here. So it's going to be primarily up to the 47th and 60th Infantry Regiment. Well, I think really the 47th is going to be tasked with doing a flanking maneuver up past Bald Hill here to cut off and isolate this bunker line and allow easy destruction. Now, I would really like to have that done by noon. I don't want to be sitting around here just at the entrance of the Highway 7 and kind of getting bogged down. It just everybody's moving past the 9th Division, and the North Shoulder is going to be further and further exposed. So all that being said, the 60th Division, I'm just going to have them. I'm looking at the terrain right quick. This is going to be annoying to get the tank destroyers and cannons through. We definitely cannot go through here. So they have to take a route. Gosh, I'm looking at the terrain. There's no way through for the motorized vehicles. Let me see something right quick here. Yeah, okay. So the 60th Infantry, we'll probably have to detach the tank destroyer and cannon for them. And when I say detach, I kind of mean philosophically detach. So they'll move up this way and aim towards Green Hill. I'm just a little concerned because I think that they're going to be ahead of everybody else, but the we'll see how it develops. We'll see how it develops. Overall, 60th Regiment is going to be pushing in this direction, though. Well, this-ish direction. And kind of trying to get as deep onto Highway 7 as they can. All right, Red Bull. This situation got, if you look at the screen, this is confused and it's a little disorganized, but I think that this is actually going okay. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but it's not far off. So CD Nasir is within striking distance. That will actually be my first victory point, I think. The southern flank of Red Bull, what a mess of minefields over here. We're going to have to move the 1st Division around these minefields, but the southern flank of Red Bull is looking really great. We'll be able to capture this line at CD Nasir, and again, I'll reiterate as well that I did do the thing that I was talking about with the 1st Armored Division. We couldn't get through the front door, so we swept all the way around up to the southern flank of Ninth Infantry, and we found a spot, and we got through. So that did go kind of, it didn't go exactly according to plan, but doctrinally it did. And so I'll keep trying to exploit, different things like that. But uh, the big thing for First Armored, they're not going to be able to get through this terrain, but they can, going northeast, but they can swing southeast and get down to this rail line, which will allow real expedited movement. Now, I expect that there will be additional resistance there, and that's going to put them out front. So that comes back to what I was talking about with the 9th Infantry Division. Oh, it's storming here. I don't know if you could hear that. Um, Basically, I'm worried that the U.S. First Armored is going to get too far ahead. But we're going to have to see. So that's what's going on there. The 1st Infantry is, in this particular scenario, kind of the most boring. Right now they're navigating a minefield, and we're just going to push up to the Tyne River as planned. 78th Infantry in 1st Army 5 Corps. So I think that this went really well. We cleared a bunch of minefields. I still have this one that I need to do. Let me do, I'll come back to that. We cleared a bunch of minefields. We cleared a bunch of trenches and bunkers. We got through at the places that we wanted to get through, and actually slightly further over here by Peter's Corner. Now, all that being said, it went well day one. Day two is going to be pretty complicated for 78th Infantry Division, and something I'm looking at and thinking about is the fatigue level, which is, they're not too bad. Well, the East Surrey Regiment, they got chopped up pretty good. So I'm going to want to withdraw them and kind of switch them out. That's what I was talking about with the fighting reserve, is that I want to pay attention to the fatigue levels. Anyways, so the 78th Infantry Division has a pretty expansive task for day two. So the first thing that they need to do is take Longstop Hill. Longstop Hill is going to be, I should have this pretty well segmented. Oops, I'm in the wrong place. Hang on just a second for me. First, 5 Corps, 78th Infantry Division, and the 1st Infantry Brigade. Okay, so the 1st Infantry Brigade and the 11th, they're a little bit scattered. I don't love that. Sorry. Okay, so the 1st Infantry Brigade, it will be responsible for taking Longstop Hill on day two. The 11th Infantry Brigade will, I'm looking at the terrain, I'm annoyed that they're in different spots. They're north and south of this river, and okay, so I'll explain what my plan is for this division. So Peter's Corner is a real pain in the butt, and there's a lot of bunkers over there, and just this area, I think, I saw this AAA over here, the anti-aircraft guns, there's 88s and smaller calibers, and I think that there's going to be a lot of infantry, and I think that there's going to be a lot of paratroopers. I think that this area is going to remain very, that there's going to be a lot of combat during day two in this immediate area. So I want to have sufficient troops from the 78th Infantry to take Peter's Corner in conjunction with the 25th Tank Brigade. The problem is that that one of my regiments is out of position. So do I want to do about it? I just don't have the right positioning. Well, you know what? I'm thinking I could give the task to 4th Infantry. They're in the right position for it. 4th Infantry, actually, that might work out pretty well because south of 4th Infantry, we have the 46th Infantry, which got an A plus on their report card by literally annihilating all opposition, but they're on foot. And it's going to take them a little while to get through their position here, which is just kind of through this Jebel Ruas, the northern flank of the Point du Fos thrust by the armored divisions. So basically, what I'm thinking is, all right, yeah, I can get down with that. The problem, I'm also thinking about, oh, yeah. So what I'm thinking about is the Majira River for the 78th Infantry Division because these brigades are split up and I want to get them joined. And honestly, they're not that split up. What I can do, I have engineers, and I can use the engineers to ferry. I've got like a lot of engineers, and I can use the engineers to ferry units across in one direction or the other. Now that leaves me, so I can take care of that from a logistical tactical perspective, not a problem. What I then need to do, though, is make sure that the 1st Infantry Brigade at the northern tip is able to get through as quickly as possible. I don't have engineers over here to help clear these mines. So what I'm going to do is I'll kind of stagger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bulk of the 11th Infantry Brigade, move them south of the Majira, and use them to support the attack northeast towards El Bathon. They will attack in conjunction with the 36th Infantry Brigade. This is all happening within the 78th Infantry Division. So they're taking a northeast direction, and their kind of cutoff line is going to be this mesa, I guess, this elevated plateau. Peter's Corner is going to be the responsibility of the 4th Infantry Division in conjunction with the 25th Armored Brigade, or sorry, the 25th Tank Brigade. Peter's Corner is going to get kind of gnarly. We'll handle it though. And then basically, the one thing that's a little tricky. The one thing that's a little bit tricky is that, like, I don't know strategically which direction the 4th Infantry Division is going. I guess they're headed towards Ain al-Askar. They'll kind of take like a lazy northeastern route. I think that will work pretty well. Yeah, Jebel Kramfir. I'm remembering what I was talking about in my original planning video, so this will work. This will work. We'll have full coverage along the front, and we'll be able to push in both directions. We'll have clear segmentation of units, and that will work out quite well. How are we doing on time? So 20. Okay, yeah. All right. I am going to pause the video, but I will be right back. I don't know why I bothered to say that. I was just gone for like 15 minutes, but for you, that was 1 second. All right. I did think about it a little bit more, so here's how it will go. The 4th Infantry Division is going to be responsible for taking Peter's Corner in conjunction with the 25th Tank Brigade. That'll be the 12th Infantry Brigade, and the 25th Tank Brigade. So 12th from the 4th, 12th Infantry Brigade from the 4th Infantry Division in conjunction with the 25th Tank Brigade. Blah. The 10th Infantry Brigade in conjunction with the 21st tank brigade from the 4th Infantry Division, will push east and take this road, and this will be the dividing line. Now, here's the trick. The 6th Armored Division has two different components, really. This is my 9 Corps. So I was talking, and this is an interesting distinction that I'm making here. So when I had moved the 26th Armored Brigade of the 6th Armored Division up through this little brush area between these marshlands, I had intended to use them as a flanking force for Point du Fas to the southeast. However, I spotted up on this hill a armored enemy force that looked pretty mean. So, sticking with my doctrinal plan, what I'm going to do instead of attacking southeast with the 21st, nope, the 26th Armored Brigade, I'm going to move the 26th Armored Brigade northeast along this road. And in this way, they will support the 4th Infantry Division that is going to be pushing along this road. If you're not looking at the screen, you're not going to really be able to see what I'm talking about, but they're going to triangulate at a particular crossroads southwest of Ain al-Askir, and I think that that crossroad will be very important. I expect it to be defended, and the 4th Infantry Division, in conjunction with the 6th Armored Division Armored Brigade, will be able to punch through and take that. There is the consideration here of the headquarters unit, which I do have close by, but let me see, where are you? Do I have them close by? Crap. Yes, okay. So there's the headquarters for the 26th. The divisional headquarters is out of command and is going to be increasingly far away. So the rest of the 6th Infantry is going to be pushing east south of the railway that leads to Point du Fas, because they have this bunker line here. And what I want to do is punch through using Highway 4, maybe even to get to the other side of the river over here and take this bunker line from the back. I guess that would probably be before we cross the river, but so that's the plan for the 6th Armored Division. The 7th Armored Division kind of is doing the same thing. They're supporting, remember that the 6th and 7th, what they're ultimately going to do is take both banks of the Milliane River. They'll take Point du Fas, and they'll take the both of the roads that are leading northeast towards Tunis. So, to that end, the 7th Armored Division is kind of working this southern section of Highway 4 in conjunction with the 1st Parachute Brigade, and that's going pretty well. We'll make some progress, and we'll support the southern flank of the 6th Armored Division as they punch through this bunker line towards Highway 4 here, to then go ahead and proceed with that flanking maneuver as described. 46th Infantry Division is just going to hustle through as quick as they can. They're on foot, so it's going to take a while. Wherever they end up getting to, there'll be a welcome reinforcement. Alright, so 1st Infantry, 1st British is, things are going pretty well. This bunker line was a little bit stiffer than I expected, and I have no idea what is on this northeastern route of Highway 4 along the river here. We'll find out soon enough. That I see there's two bridges. CD Said is probably going to be defended. I might actually, well, I was going to say I would send the first parachute brigade in that direction, but I think that I would probably not do that because I wanted the paratroopers to be able to clear some of this more difficult terrain up northeast, and if they're stuck fighting in the south, they won't be able to do that. So it'll be the first infantry. Honestly, I would rate their performance highly. They're just a morale C unit, but they've been able to do a lot of damage and push these Italians out of here. So happy about that. Moroccan division, we're gonna assault everything. We doing non-stop assaults, 24/7 assaults. This regiment of the Indian division is they'll work in support. I think that'll be very useful, and I think because they're motorized, so it'll be helpful to have them come up this road here. The other portion of the Indian division, in conjunction with half of the Highlanders, and this, what unit is this? Is the 23rd Armored Brigade. So they have kind of a very specific, interesting job here. There's a bunker here, and there's trench lines up on this hill. This mountain here, I don't know. I bet they have artillery at the top of it, though. So I'd like to explore that and see if I can knock it out if necessary, or at least make sure that it's clear. Um, I wonder what the visibility is from up there during the day. 5 kilometers for sure. Maybe longer. Okay. So all that being said, gotta take this minefield. We have to take out this minefield, and that's why I haven't moved this engineer, because it's night, and if they get disrupted, it's going to be bad. Like we won't be able to assault. Well, we will be able to assault, but we'll take grievous losses. So minefield's got to go. There's a bunker here. This minefield's got to go, and then we push north. So that's how that will go. Um, oops. Woo. Okay. Over on this section of the Highlanders, in conjunction with the Royal Dragoons, I think it's going very well. And if I zoom out a little bit, so like my overall objective for the Highlanders is something like this, and then push north. This, I'm thinking this recon unit here, I mean, I feel like no matter which way I go with the recon unit, I'll kind of get stuck because I want to go through here. Well, in any case, the main point that I'll make is that I'm going to go in every direction, in every road possible, as far as I can. So that's good. 50th Infantry is going to be kind of bogged down in fighting the section of 8th Army. Which one is this? This is the 10 Corps and, well, really it's the 10 Corps. 201st Guards Motorized Brigade Group is this blue unit here, and I am planning to use them as the, well, I wasn't until I was just looking at the force structure, the order of battle, but I kind of was planning on using them as the connection between 10 Corps and 30 Corps. I think that will work quite well. So now I will point out that what I was just talking about is using my motorized infantry to the best of its ability and taking advantage of the, uh, the speed. So I'm immediately going to throw that away and have them move through this forest. But like I say, they'll kind of form the connector. They're just kind of in an awkward position for where they're at right now. They'll be useful fighters, I think. They're, yeah, morale C units. So just a lot of motorized infantry and recon units. So good on that. Um, I really want to get my New Zealanders into the mix. They're, I think, possibly the best troops that I have. They're a little bit all over the place. They're fast, so I want to take advantage of that as I can. and just try to make sure that they're going to be in the right place at the right time. The section in 8th Army, especially along 10 Corps and kind of the supporting troops in this area, this is a bit of a disaster. I'm doing. I will steal my own argument and just say that like I'm doing what I need to in order to get through and get as many guys through this breach as I can as fast as I can. It's nighttime now, so we haven't moved, but I'm in a good position to get a lot of armored penetration and mechanized infantry penetration far. They've got trenches and stuff up here along the main road. I see it, I understand that, but like we can still find spots to get through. I'm examining the terrain right now. There's some impassable on the western side of this kind of plateau slash valley slash I don't know. Um, Objective is still Beaufiche. I don't think we'll get there on day 2, but we'll probably get pretty close. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan for day 2. And I think, as I said above, that it's gone pretty well. I'm going to keep doing the same thing that I've done. So I'm going to publish this video. I'll play some more. Um, I'll come back. We'll run the turn, and we'll start day 2, and fire my artillery and all that good stuff. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I enjoyed making this video. Again, I super appreciate participation and comments. I love talking about this game, and I just feel like this is a lot of fun, so I've enjoyed doing it. All right. Thanks again, everyone. We'll talk soon.